Speaking of MSNBC, I have to say that, like, you know, the number of Republicans who show up on MSNBC now, who these never Trumpers, and this is basically just, and I've said this for a long time as well, two different corporations in the same industry pretending to knock the product, but in fact, they're really just knocking the brand. And the easiest way to do that is to take offense at processed things. Here is MSNBC's Joe Scarborough, who, you recall, even after the cycling through, it really took just Donald Trump making fun of Joe Scarborough's fiancée. Are they engaged? Yes. Fiancée, before there was like weeks of consistent criticism of Trump. But now this is it. What's the issue with another general coming into the White House, the guy who oversaw the DHS's crackdown on moms and family members?
I'm sure that's not the problem.
And, well, I mean, he's got some hard-hitting stuff. Look at this.
That Steve Schmidt gave a very impassioned plea as to why daughters don't work alongside generals.
Pause it. That's right. Ivanka Trump tweeted out, apparently, I'm looking forward to working alongside White House Chief of Staff. And understand, he's not a general anymore. He's a
really
former general.
Zeroing in on the
Here we go.
Less than
roll it back.
Less than irrelevant.
Right. The working alongside. Go ahead.
Give a very impassioned plea as to why daughters don't work alongside generals that have given their entire life in service of this country just because they're daughters. And I thought it was interesting. You got attacked yesterday, and it was like in the press. It was like it was very sexist. It was like a cat fight.
Well,
because you said it, but when the men said it, that didn't rate a mention. But you state something that we all say about
Actually,
White
I was
House
talking
policy.
about Jared and Ivanka.
Yeah.
So.
But they turned that into a cat fight. But Willie, I didn't see anybody yesterday thinking that it was appropriate that Ivanka Trump tweeted, I want, and by the way, I like Ivanka, always have. We've all known her in New York. We've known her for years, and I've always said nothing but great things about her. And actually always said before they got into the White House, if you want to have something to judge Donald Trump positively by, look at his kids. I've said it a million times. So this is not personal against Ivanka Trump. I will tell you, this text is repugnant.
Tweet.
Put the tweet up. It's repulsive.
Looking forward to serving alongside John Kelly as we work for the American people. General Kelly is a true American hero.
Over the last
it's like
6 months,
literally the least offensive thing about Ivanka's
General
existence.
Kelly needs to report to his boss, Donald Trump, and everybody else needs to report to General Kelly. Looking forward to serving alongside John Kelly as we work for no.
That is honestly the dumbest thing I've ever heard come out of his mouth.
First of all, is this guy an active general?
No.
Is he an active general?
I don't believe so. I think he's retired, but I don't know. But I will say this, like, what kind of bizarre, sick, plutocratic, like, Regency drama are we living in? Like, he has to get his smelling salts out for this complete nonsense.
That's the problem with the White House?
That's the problem with the White House. That's the problem with Ivanka Trump, who's also personally enriching herself, by the way.
Is the advisor to the president.
But then he circles it back, of course, with that he knows her and she's great. I mean, it's just like...
There was a time I thought this was the best part of the Trump administration. And now she's saying she's serving alongside John Kelly as we work for the American public?
I was a little disturbed when, like, I don't know, the human rights monitors in China were detained while they were investigating the horrific sweatshops.
Okay.
Yeah.
We know
no,
about
that's nothing. Of course, that's very tasteless to bring up. Right. Joe Scarborough is such a fucking moron. I mean,
It's
honestly,
just-
that is even worse than David Frum to cite him for anything. Even worse.
Can I just point out that while he is bemoaning the fact that people were being sexist toward her and
Right.
starting a cat fight,
A daughter.
being sexist toward Mika.
Right.
All he does is talk over her. He doesn't let her say basically anything. The best contribution that she makes to the show is when she just corrects almost like half of the things that he says, which are wrong.
And then he says, yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's all he lets her do. And so there's that. And then earlier in it, I just wanted to point out that the insult, when you say that Trump insulted her, the president of the United States, the insult that he made toward Mika Brzezinski was that she was bleeding all over her face and tried to crash his party at
Mar-a-Lago.
Mar-a-Lago,
Well,
which
they
should
did.
not be
They
having
did try.
parties.
They did try. They did try and crash his New Year's party. That was reported concurrently. But
Well,
wait. I want to
yes,
say one more
but
thing about Joe.
bleeding all over her
talking
face?
about. Yes. Well, yeah.
I'm just pointing it out.
The Joe makes an issue of the sexism while he's saying like the daughter doesn't serve next to the general. Like what? The issue isn't that it's the daughter. It's the issue is that it's his kid.
Can I
It's
serve next to
nepotism.
the general?
The
I'm
daughter.
the son-in-law.
Now, if son. Yes. Well, I mean, you've seen him in a flak jacket.
He's very upset about the article. If you pull it, we can pull the story in the Inquirer about you and Mika. Hold on. I need to go turn the hot water off on some Dominicans. Dad told me to.
It's Ivanka that has repeatedly said the word daughter. Like, I'm a daughter, not, like I want to be a daughter. I don't want to be in the administration. Like she said,
Yeah, but that stopped
What
when
would
she
Joe
joined
Scarborough
officially
object
joined the
to?
administration.
What would Joe
she
Scarborough?
just recently said, I try to stay out of politics
Well,
as part of her
she's-
ridiculous.
She can say that.
What
back
would
and
Joe
forth.
Scarborough object to, like in the Nazi era? Like you can serve alongside with Himmler, but you
The
must
Wagner's
be
too
a
loud.
member of the SS.
Honestly, you get your uniforms from the Massachusetts State Troopers. It's embarrassing. It's disgusting.
And you
Come
know-
up with your own uniform.
What
Please.
Hitler is doing with the Jews is tough stuff, and we can talk about that as a separate policy. But the uniforms, it just has no dignity left.
Unbelievable.
In Haiti, like Papa Doc could steal everything and completely wipe out the treasury and have death squads to murder his opponents, but voodoo? You got to move beyond that.
Here is.
That's what Sam Harris would say.
That is exactly what Sam said. I actually think Papa Doc is
All right,
probably
we're-
the leader that Haiti needs, but
Oh.
voodoo's irrational.
Oh, I want to talk about
I'm going to
this.
do a 3-hour podcast.
You bring
on
up,
that. I actually don't think voodoo's irrational. You're taking me out of context.
Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. Head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos